You're not lazy, you're not undisciplined, you're not even broken. You're just unclear in the areas that really, really matter. Perhaps no one has ever shown you how to create clarity to build the life of your dreams. That is why in today's episode, I'm going to break down the 3 areas of your life where you need to build confidence, find clarity, and protect your energy. Oh sis, I hope you're ready for this episode. If you are, get your pen, get your Post-it, get your ambition planner, and let's go. Hello, Ambition Babes. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion, also known as the Face of Ambition, across all social media platforms as well as wherever you stream your podcast. I help women 40 years and older who are on a reinvention journey, who know that they're ready to reinvent themselves, they're ready to level up, they're ready to glow up, and they are sick and tired of doing the same old thing, the same old way, and expecting different results. But do not worry, sis. If you are not over the age of 30 and the algorithm gods have decided to show you my face, just consider me a bougie auntie or your digital bestie who wants to put you on so that you do not have to make the same mistakes that I have. And before we start this episode, I want to be very, very clear as to why I suggest that you get your pen, your Post-it, and your ambition planner before every single episode. It is because it is so easy to binge my content or other girlies like me. You're just taking in all this juicy, good information, and what this will become is entertainment as opposed to application. I do desire that you find my content entertaining, but more than that, I want you to walk away leveled up. I want you to feel empowered, supported, and clearer on your path to becoming the woman that God has intended for you to be. So I should be abundantly clear. When I say get your pen, your Post-it, and your ambition planner, it is not a suggestion, honey. I don't care if you're writing that old journal that you purchased from TJ Maxx 16 years ago. I need you to pull her forward, take her out, and take some notes. Because today's episode is extremely important. I'm going to break down the 3 areas that keep you feeling stuck. That is productivity, self-care, and wellness. If you have ever felt like you are spinning your wheels and getting absolutely nowhere in these 3 areas, I want you to pull out one of those Post-its and I want you to write these 3 simple words: clarity, confidence, and consistency. That is exactly what I'm going to offer you as I break down these 3 areas where you feel most stuck in your life. The first area where we have all struggled and have even questioned if we're lazy is when it comes to productivity and work organization. Since we've already established that you're not lazy, we need to then identify exactly what's going on when it comes to your productivity. And traditionally, what we have deemed as lazy is that we truly just don't know where to start. We have so many goals, so many things that we need to do, so many people depending on us that we simply have too many tabs open in our brain. None of the tabs are labeled, but you know each and every one of them are important. So for that reason, you keep trying to tackle each and every task. You're trying to show up, you're trying to be productive, you're trying to be on time, you're trying to be intentional, you're trying to stay spiritually grounded. You're trying to stay focused, but it seems as if it is ultimately impossible. There are so many times in the middle of the night, I feel like my eyes just pop open because I'm just so overwhelmed. There are a ton of things that I know I need to do or I've left undone, and I know that in the morning I'm just going to add on to that list. And yes, some of us may have too many things to do, but what I can promise you is that you'll never get to them if you lack the system that is going to support you in reaching those goals. What I have learned about clarity is extremely simple, but has changed absolutely everything. I have to keep the thoughts in my mind somewhere safe. I don't know about you, but my thoughts are not safe in my mind. They get cluttered, they get confused, I forget. But the moment that I am able to put them in a space where I know that they are safe, I've organized them so I know the level of importance that each one of them holds, and I've assigned a date or a deadline into which I'm going to complete it, I can sleep peacefully at night. That is why no matter where in the world I am, I plan my week on that Sunday evening. Each and every Sunday around 6 p.m., I pull out my ambition planner and I start identifying the things that I need to do for the week. What are all the undone tasks and tabs that are open in my mind? What are the goals, dreams, and ambitions that I want to accomplish this week? What are the meetings that I have? What are the appointments that I need to attend? What are my financial goals? How do I want to eat this week? What important dates do I need to circle twice? And how am I going to be intentional to show up for myself and others? Every single Sunday, I sit down and I plan out my entire week. I need to know exactly what I'm going to be facing the week ahead. First of all, doing this exercise makes me feel like a complete boss, but it is also the thing that helps neutralize my nervous system. I know that because I'm creating space to empty my mind and to put everything on paper, I don't feel nervous that I'm going to forget something. Just like I sit down every single Sunday and I write out all of the things that I want to accomplish for the week, before I leave my desk every day, I check off the things that I've completed and I write down any of the tasks that I need to complete the next day. Writing out my Sunday plan and agenda currently takes me about 30 minutes to an hour. And before I leave my office every day, could possibly take me anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes. But it is the cheat code to being able to feel more productive and organized. The days when I walk away from my desk and don't write out the things that I need to do the next day are the days I know I'm not going to be able to sleep well. I know my eyes are going to open at 3 a.m. worried that I forgot something important because I have not left my thoughts in a safe space. I tried to warn you, but tip number 1 is not fancy, but it works. You have got to write it down. We were not meant to multitask. Even though this life demands that we do multitask, writing down your task on Sunday and checking in every single day before you leave your office is the cheat code to success.
Imagine sun shining, pink clouds in the sky, and everything is right. Imagine stars lighting up the night, and a shooting star so vibrant, you have to make a wish. Nothing's ever in your way, scoring every shot you make. No, you've never heard of pain, because you're just high on life. Every day is sad.
Area number 2 where we lack clarity is in our self-care and skincare. You're gonna be tired. You're gonna be overwhelmed, overworked, and depleted. But please do not make the same mistake that I have made by using self-care as a reward. I used to believe that I earned rest. But when I started planning in advance, I started showing up differently. I started planning my self-care, planning my skincare routine. A part of my weekly agenda is taking care of my body, going to the gym, taking myself on a hot girl walk, ensuring that I'm eating well and drinking my water, taking an everything shower at least twice a week, prayer, meditation, and a skincare routine both morning and evening that I could stick to started to become a non-negotiable. What I can promise you is that you cannot pour from an empty cup. When you are completely depleted and you have not taken time for yourself, you are not your best and highest self for anyone else. We think we're doing the world a favor by running ourselves ragged, not prioritizing bending down and painting our toenails or waxing that little mustache. Somehow is going to give us brownie points, that everyone is going to think we're so noble and honorable for not taking care of ourselves and giving to so many other people. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's no gold star for that. No one is like, girl, her hair is always a mess. But you know what? I can appreciate that because she does so much for me. No one ever says, girl, she's had that nail polish in the center of her fingers for the past 2 weeks. And that is so good because, man, I needed for her to show up for me before she showed up for herself. And she did that. No one is going to take time for you except for you. No one else is coming. No one else is going to be able to go to the gym for you. No one else is going to be able to take the long bath or shower for you. No one's going to practice the skincare for you, prep your meals for you, drink your water for you. You might be able to get somebody to pray for you, but baby, sometimes you need to intercede for yourself. It is up to you to take care of yourself. And because of our life and many of our lifestyles, we have got to schedule self-care. And that's okay. Every single evening, my alarm goes off at 9 p.m. That is my indicator that it's time to start moving towards my bed and start practicing my self-care routine. I tidy up my home. I ensure that I have written down everything that I need to do the next day. And I take time in the bathroom for myself. I'm not saying you got to spend 30 minutes to an hour peering at yourself in the mirror. It could take less than 5 minutes for you to practice your skincare routine, to brush your teeth, brush your tongue, and gargle with some mouthwash, to take a good shower and put on a good robe, rub some Vaseline and lotion all over your heels, and put on those pajamas that you haven't pulled the tag off of yet. That whole routine can possibly take less than an hour and do wonders for your life. But you have got to get on schedule. I know school just started back and you're trying to get back into the routine, but those kids need a bedtime schedule. Read, pray, meditate, and even have intimate time with your partner. No one else is going to schedule your self-care except for you. You're not lazy, you're not broken, but perhaps no one has ever told you that this is possibly the most important thing that you can offer yourself. You deserve it, sis. You deserve to be filled so that you can help others. The third and possibly the most important area where we tend to lack clarity is when it comes to our wellness routine. Traditionally, when it comes to this third area of your life, you lack energy and discipline. As someone who has taken decades to finally understand how to prioritize wellness, I'm not going to tell you what I heard or even read. I'm going to tell you what I know. It is a struggle to eat better, to move your body every day, and to drink more water. But guess what? You do not need motivation. You need a plan. Have you ever gone to the grocery store hungry before? Honey, the worst thing ever is to walk into a grocery store hungry, because what you gonna pick up? Absolutely everything that makes not a single meal. You have a cucumber, 3 bananas, a bag of Skinny Pop, and some jasmine rice. And you're rushing to the register like you're about to check out, go home and make yourself some dinner. And the moment that you exit that grocery store and get in your car and realize that you don't have a meal, you're gonna find yourself walking through the door of Chipotle ordering a burrito bowl. Even though it's not that bad of a dietary choice, it's not the intentions that you had. But because you didn't have a plan and you're extremely hungry, it's the decision that you're going to make. One of the fitness hacks that every single trainer or Instagram fitness influencer is going to tell you is that you have got to plan your meals. 70% of your weight loss and wellness is going to happen in the kitchen. So because it is so important to your wellness journey, you have got to prioritize it. Just as important as it is for you to sit down on a Sunday and identify what you're going to do for the week at work, it is equally as important to identify what you're going to eat that week. Now, I know I got my meal prep girlies listening right now, and your ears are perking up because you're like, yes, honey, you're speaking my love language. I love sitting with my planner on a Sunday, planning out my meals, going to the grocery store, and spending a few hours in the kitchen so that I know exactly what I'm going to eat so that I feel supported throughout the week. But there may be some of my other girlies that are like, that sounds like the worst Sunday ever. And I get it, but you have got to figure out what works for you. Gone are the days where you can make an excuse for not meal prepping. You can simply walk into Whole Foods and go to the section in the grocery store where they have ready-made meals. I've walked past there and seen a family of 4 meal that has 4 chicken breasts, broccoli, and maybe some Alfredo or pasta. They'll have steak, potatoes, and Brussels sprouts, already cooked, already prepackaged, already measured, and ready for you to take home, scoop out of whatever container you bought it from the grocery store in, and put it in your to-go containers where you can slide it right in the refrigerator. There's Daily Harvest where you can get shakes and meals and treats and ready-made snacks. There's even food delivery services like Factor where you just poke some holes in the top and put it in the microwave. If you are on a wellness journey and you are finding that preparing your meals has become extremely difficult, I am challenging you to find a solution. This was the hardest thing for me to figure out, and once I did, I dropped this last 40 pounds in less than 6 months. I knew how to eat, but every single week I didn't feel like standing in the kitchen to do it. So for the weeks that I felt like meal prepping, I did. And for the times that I either wasn't able to prepare or I simply didn't have the energy to do so, I activated my alternative. But the only way that I've been able to find this success is by having a plan. I know those meals are in Whole Foods because I've spent time walking to the grocery store trying to identify a plan. I could probably sit here and rattle off the average of the calories of every single fruit and vegetable because I knew every single day I had to log my meals in MyFitnessPal. I had a plan that every single day when I sat down to eat my meal, I would sit there, take a picture of my food, and log my meals. Because I had a plan, it became a routine. Because it was a goal of mine, I implemented this process so that it became a habit. When I was trying to track my meals at the end of every day, all I was doing was tracking lies. How many strawberries did you eat? How many cashews was in that handful? How many ounces of meat did I eat? Because there was absolutely no way for me to remember how many ounces of food I ate that day. When I would try to track my food at night, all I was doing was tracking lies. Made up ideas of how much I was eating, made up ounces of how much everything weighed, and then I had the nerve to be pissed when I stepped on the scale and it said the same thing that it said last week. Or I had even gained weight. Eating well, working out, and monitoring your water intake is really hard to do, but it becomes that much harder when you don't have a plan. If it's not written down, it's not going to happen. But writing it down honestly builds momentum. The gym that I figured out about writing things down specifically about my wellness journey, I could see key indicators where I fell off, and I could repeat the same things that I did on weeks where I was really successful. If my goal was to lose 1.5 pounds this week, but I ended up losing 2 pounds, your girl did something right and she needs to rinse that off and repeat it again next week. But if I never wrote it down, I would never know how to repeat it. I want to encourage you to take your wellness journey seriously. I know you have plans. I know that you have wellness goals. I know that you want to feel like your very best self. And the success that you seek is honestly just as simple as writing it down. I know that I said I had 3 tips, but I would be remiss if I left this episode and I didn't acknowledge the fact that you need emotional clarity. There's been times in your life where you've experienced emotional clarity. I need you to go back to that season of your life and do what you were doing then. Were you praying more? Were you you staying in an environment with like-minded women? Were you journaling? Were you seeking therapy? Were your communication habits different? Were you taking that hour hot girl walk where you were spending time in prayer, which is time to talk to God, and meditating, which is the time to listen? I can offer you a long list of ways where you can find emotional clarity. But what I really want you to do is identify what works for you. You've experienced emotional clarity before. Maybe it's been a long time, maybe it's been a few years, or maybe even decades. But I want you to open that journal that you got from Marshall's in 2015, and I want you to start writing. I want you to write out until you figure out what you were doing whenever you felt clear, light, where you felt like your life was at peace, where you had the energy to practice self-care and write things down and go to sleep on time. I want you to write down the season in your life where your home was decluttered and clean, where you put on makeup every day and got dressed for work. I want you to write down the time in your life where you felt the sexiest, where you felt bold and confident. I want you to think about what you were doing in that season of your life, and I want you to show up for that woman again. She's the woman that lives inside of you. When you close your eyes and imagine the woman that you want to become, that's the woman that replays in your mind. It's not some random girl that you've seen on Instagram and TikTok. Her life is probably fake or unobtainable anyway. I want you to think about the life that you desire. Maybe you've had it before, maybe you haven't. But if you've ever had a glimpse of emotional clarity, I want you to journal until you find your peace. I want you to identify what emotional clarity means to you, and I want you to take daily action to maintain your peace. Okay, sis, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I have given you 3 and a bonus area where traditionally we suffer due to lack of mental clarity. But I hope that you have written down some tips that I have offered you or some ideas of your own that are going to help you to walk away from this video feeling more secure and supported. Now, I don't want to see you showing up to my next video without a pen, a post-it, or an ambition planner. That is why I'm leaving a promo code in the description below so that you can purchase your brand new digital ambition planner today. Everything that I have discussed about organizing your life, your wellness, your skincare, your self-care, your goals, and productivity can all be found inside of this planner. Everything that I have broken down today, sis, I have struggled through, and I curated this planner as the system to support us to reach our goals. Girl, you're not out here struggling by yourself. Every single day, I have to make a decision to use the system that is going to support my progress, my productivity, that is going to offer me clarity, confidence, and consistency. That is why I'm so excited to offer you this exclusive discount so that you can go to the link in my website and instantly download your planner, upload it to your iPad or tablet, and start working towards becoming your best and highest self today. Sis, I love you, and I pray that you are well and that you're doing something every single day to reach your most ambitious goals.